My first interaction with Claire was actually seeing her and Bob at the Walla Walla Airport.
She does 101 things all the time.
Where they were, I guess, taking a group of students to Costa Rica, and she and Bob had about 20 huge duffel bags and backpacks all piled around them. And it was just the two of them. They were waiting for the morning flight out, and I didn't know who she was.
If I could describe Claire in one word, it would be sophisticatedly cool. But that's 2 words.
She's sophisticated, subtle, disarming, insightful, far-reaching, and has a great sense of humor. And to me, that adds up to mischievous.
And yet, the one thing she's doing at the very moment is the thing that takes all her attention. And if it's your one thing, you know you're on her front burner.
Claire has taught me basically everything I know about working with students.
Claire allowed me to really define who I was in that position and let me kind of explore broadly.
Claire was very patient with me and asked a lot of questions and never really seemed to have an answer that she wanted to give me, and so that was challenging at first.
Claire has taught me about working with students that the primary piece of advice that she emulates, that she lives, is to meet students where they're at.
It's really not about me, it's about the young people that we get to work with for 4 years and helping them address where they are and how their involvement in the world is causing them to have either options opened up or options closed down, and working through that.
He said to me, she said, some students can smoke pot, drink themselves to oblivion, and still do well in school, and you're not one of them. And I think it really was hugely profound for him. And it probably saved his life here because he graduated.
Her phrase that to me is the most exciting is when she talks about the thin edge of the wedge, because for me that's always a way of thinking about how can a tiny little question or a tiny little insight or a tiny little intervention help open up a huge way of understanding something that first may seem very complicated, but yet there's always a little inroad if you know how to approach it.
Claire's favorite line for a student, when she's telling you a story about a student that she doesn't want you to know who the student's about, she just says, and then I said, Sonny Boy. She just has pet names for students who are in trouble, and Sonny Boy is probably the most common one.
Claire's constant reminder that there's always learning that can come out of any situation that somebody's in if approached in the right kind of way, and that's been my greatest lesson, is that everything is a great learning moment, no matter how seemingly chaotic or random or troublesome it appears.
When I come in with some kind of challenge that happened either relative to my kids or relative to something, Claire has the most amazing grocery bag full of stories to bring me back to the point it can't be any worse than me leaving my kids on the sidewalk on Labor Day for the school bus. Julie, whatever you did, it can't be any worse than that.
I think for me as a parent with 2 young kids in Walla Walla and wanting to have great experiences and opportunities for them and also wanting to have a great professional life, Claire has modeled the ability of somebody to have deep immersion in the college, deep commitment to the students, and also have a very robust family life, hobbies, healthy existence. So a real sort of holistic involvement in the world that's just very admirable.